Filthy red RL subs. Yikes. What a beautiful world. Okay, so something we can do is, so in 90% of the cases, Kayn is going to do red buff into Krugs, into then Wraiths, into then his Wolves, into his blue buff. So something we can do is, since he's pretty fast, we can do Wraiths into red, into Krugs, then look for a level 3 gank or just path top lane, or we can look for an invade. Vel'Koz, can you ward his Wraiths at like 120? The song is called I Write Sins Not Tragedies from Panic at the Disco. Hey, what's up, Ashwin? Hello, hello. Hey, Johnny, Pog. Okay. There we go. He might start Wraiths on his own. That's pretty much the same as getting a Leash on red. It doesn't really change his speed much. It makes him a little bit slower, but this will not make me deviate from my plan. They should not die. Why is he dying? He should have just put a ward down. No. So confused. So we know he started topside. They did solo start. So what we can do now is do his blue buff after this, and then gank bot lane. He might look for a top lane gank level 3 and then take our blue. I'm not too worried about it, because that would be some next level macro, which these players usually don't have. Oh, they're swapped. Since this ward isn't quite deep enough, we don't actually see if he's already pathing downwards, which kind of sucks. But it's fine. We probably won't be able to join the fight there. Actually, we might be able to.
A gift from the forest.
Nice. Okay, now we can dive him. If they pushed away... Oh, I even got the cannon. Pog. I stole the cannon accident with my red. We can actually dive him. Oh shit, Kayn is here. So he did a really interesting clear. This is super free now. Nice. I kind of wanted to kill, but it's fine that he takes it. It's not a problem. Nice. Okay, perfect. So we already won the early game. Now I want to take Scuttle Crab, and then we can look for a transition gank to mid lane into taking the topside Scuttle Crab. Into potentially a top lane gank, but probably not. I don't think she has it warded. These people in this elo don't ward. I have Q and 4, I can actually go for a kill. Gotta wait for him to lose his Conqueror stacks. His Wraiths are gonna be up, which means I can try to look to kill him here. Oh. Nice. Cool, okay. I'm just gonna recall that I have a lot of gold. I don't think I want to gank top lane with this, but he died anyways, so... This is basically how you dominate the early game on Shaco. You just try to take advantage of pathing mistakes, or just by looking at the minimap and seeing where gank opportunities arrive. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Now I'm just going to go from top to bottom. I kind of have to clear my top side now because it's going to be stuck on level 1 otherwise, which is bad. You want your camps to level up, at least from level 1 to usually level 4. And always try to put your box in a way so that it fears the camp towards where you want to go. So in this case, since I'm going to go to wolves, I can try to have the blue buff be feared in that direction, if that makes sense. You also always want to make sure to know what's going on. If you see somebody fighting, you want to look at the map, see what's going on. You also want to look at the lanes to see if maybe it's gankable. Then we're just at level 6, so it's kind of risky to gank her. But she can kill you. But yeah, those are the general ideas you want to follow. Now bot lane is fighting, so I might want to move there. If they push this way, if you could look for a dive. I'm really close to level 6, so if I get like 1 or 2 more minions of XP... they could dive this. Or at least like... they have a ward here. She didn't even realize that we're coming, so that's good. Ivern passive makes it really easy to latch onto the misfortune there. So that was a free gank. By the way, guys, I would really appreciate it if you guys would vote on the poll, the exclamation mark poll one, because I'm really unsure of what to do. If I should be, doing Unranked to Masters, or if I should be playing on my main account. I should just be for funning and just interacting with you guys on like a diamond account. So if you could vote on the poll, that'd be amazing. I would really appreciate that. I might actually just take dragon here, then gank bot lane afterwards. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. It's risky, don't try this at home, but I have a good feeling that it's going to work out. Yeah, Scary Friday is gonna come back next week. I just needed some content for the YouTubes, because I stopped streaming for like a week, so I was running out of like games I could upload to YouTube. So yeah, I'm going to be stockpiling a few, or was stockpiling a few last week. And since I came back on a Friday, I couldn't do the horror stream then. What do you have more fun doing? I mean, yeah, it's the simple solution, right? What everyone tells you to do, just do whatever you have fun doing, which it's correct usually. But I don't really care about 90% of the options. The only one that I would personally do for fun is the Gragas games. But yeah, that's what you guys don't want to see, mostly. I need 10 seconds. Get some hammers down here. Just going in, that's good. Nice. I want to get 1 or 2 platings here if possible. Actually, we can take 3, I guess. So something you can do when smurfing, especially, is we can kill him. If you hit him. Nice, he actually hit his E. That's so good. Damn, well played. So what you should do when smurfing, especially, is you should try to get heralds. They're really broken. Try to get them as soon as possible, but before 40 minutes is usually okay. You just want to make sure that you can actually proc them onto the tower. It's the most important part. Oh, 90 HP. So... I'm gonna wait for mid lane to return and then kill her again. She doesn't have flash, she doesn't have ult, she just used her E, as far as I can tell. She didn't. Good thing I preemptively dodged it. And now we use Herald on mid lane. I don't want to take his farm, because sometimes in lower elo people don't appreciate that. So yeah, I'm just making sure that this guy doesn't tilt an AFK, basically. So now we take the tower. We can probably take the second tower as well. Meanwhile, we can look for some camp timers to then, in the future, start, what's it called, like tracking his jungle. If you didn't know, camp timers are on 2 minutes, like camps take 2 minutes to respawn. The buffs take 5 minutes to respawn. So once you start getting a track of buff timers and camp timers, you can start playing around those. Usually I don't do that much, but it's, I'm probably playing her actually. Just a Thrush. We shouldn't fight this. So I have a lot of gold, I should back here. You don't want to stay on the map with a lot of gold. So, no, it's not 2:30. They changed it to they changed it to 2 minutes. Nice, well played. I will most likely do unranked to whatever on the Russian account as well. Yeah. Yeah, vision is really, really important. Would always recommend having 1 or 2 pink wards in your inventory. You shouldn't obviously buy them just to have pink wards in your inventory. You should buy them and actually like use them. Which means you have to put them at choke points, or you can use them when like trying to get vision on dragons so that the enemy jungler doesn't do it. So yeah, I mean, no. The German coming out. Unlucky. But I think you know what I mean. The dragon is up. Usually you don't have to care too much about the dragons. You should obviously take them if you can, but you don't have to like die for the dragon just so they don't get the first one or the second one. Because those usually don't really matter much. The first 2 are okay to miss. Might be able to kill her here. Yeah, what usually matters is the 3rd, then the 4th, and all the subsequent dragons. Because the single ones, like the 4 AD, the 4 bonus AD, is like really, really, really unnoticeable. So losing those gives the enemy team almost no advantage. The only advantage they have is they're closer to the soul. But yeah, if you snowball the early game correctly, you will not have a problem contesting the 3rd and the 4th dragon. Again, I could have stayed in my jungle a little bit longer. I kind of want to go for my BF sword though, just make things a little bit easier. This game is pretty much over. We're going to get the second Herald. We're going to do a bot clear and then look for either a dive or a gank. Or... that was a wasted stopwatch. Might also just gank top lane, help this guy out. Like do a full clear if that makes sense, but we don't really have to. Oops. Got any tips or guides for what to look for and try in game? I mean, I uploaded a coaching session of a gold player the other day, which I think is pretty helpful. Wait, did I just auto-attack him through the wall? Yeah, I think that's pretty helpful. So, probably worth checking that one out. Apart from that, I don't know. Just how to carry the early game. I already made a video about that too. That was so awkward. I canceled my first auto attack and I don't know how. Where'd you go, huh? Where'd you go? A nice little trick you can do is, it works with CC. you can basically Q the very millisecond before you get hit by a skill shot or like CC or whatever, and then it will buffer your Q. Will buffer your Q, which means you will basically cast your Q even though you're CC'd, and you will be CC'd during the Q. But being CC'd during the Q animation doesn't really matter because, well, you can't do anything during the Q animation anyways. If that makes sense. So I'm actually going to take a little bit more of the jungle here. I hope it's up. Nice. So I can afford my Infinity Edge. Then we're going to go into Herald and then just finish the game. Alright. This is also the trick that I use on Dragon sometimes. It's a little bit harder to time on Dragon in my opinion. But what you can do is, you know how Dragon pushes everything away when you attack it? So if you Q at that very frame where it tries to push you away, you will basically evade the CC and then get pushed away, but because it already casted your Q, you will just jump back to where you Q'd at. So, pretty cool trick. Fuck. If the enemy team invades, you just ask your team to stack. It obviously doesn't always work, and your team won't always stack, but usually, yeah, does the trick. Or if you're really scared of getting invaded, you can also start on the opposite side of the jungle. But I would recommend starting Machete in that case. This might be a little bit risky, but I'm gonna do it anyways, because we're for funning, aren't we? Oh, that's a bummer. Sadly, they're not gonna let me push mid lane, so I guess I have to take side lanes. So as you can see, it is really easy to take control of the early game if you actually try. And that's usually why I say, even if you're 10-0, you have your team inting, that doesn't mean you played the game perfectly and deserve to win. Because realistically, you could have done more. It might not seem that way, and you might think you've done well because you had good stats, but in reality, you did okay, but you didn't do what you could have possibly done, like the maximum. And I know that just sounds, you know, stupid, but that's just sadly how it works. So yeah.
An enemy has been slain.
I might want to help this guy. I'm gonna finish my bot side here. And then... See, even though we're stomping them this hard, it's 24-5, I still somehow have my team dying. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't really control them. I could tell them to stop pushing, and I could tell them to like group with me, or like play around me, but I don't really have to, because I'm confident enough to carry this game on my own. We should try to get this on this. Oh my. I didn't expect him to die in one auto attack. Ah, there's vision here. It's gonna queue over, but since I don't have the Dustblade icon over here, as you can see, I'm not getting... Oh! Yeah, as you can see, I don't have the Dustblade icon because I have vision here. They would have seen me queue over. Oh Oh shit, I just looked at chat. I should not do that maybe sometimes. I just want to win at this point. But just please let me push. Sadly, these players, luckily, these players are still pretty dense and they walk up for no reason. This guy also walks up for no reason. So, that's pretty good. I think we can finish this wave. Okay, at this point I'm just farming kills. This is bronze, so this is like high silver, low gold. I think. Yeah. Yeah, silver 1, gold 4. Jump onto the Nexus, please, dude. Okay.